My degree's in spiritual science is what it's called. So I have a master's and a doctorate in spiritual science. And then I have an advanced ministerial counseling degree that was after that, actually. It took me about 10 years after finishing the schooling to actually write my paper, because my daughter was born around the time I finished the schooling, and she became a big priority in my life. And I tried for a while to sit down once a week and write, and I did, but I kept losing my enthusiasm for it. And then when I realized I want to graduate, I have to get through that time of not feeling super psyched about it, basically. So I did, and I just sat down every day and started writing, and it got finished. And it was kind of a surprise. I forgot about that I even went to school for the second degree, but I needed to get the first one, and I got the thing in the mail, and there were 2 diplomas in there. I was like, wow, what a nice surprise. As I work with businesses, and there's still that essence of something really awesome inside of you. How do you express that in whatever you're doing? And a lot of times, I sometimes hope to think business, because everyone wants to make money in the world, like that's going to create world peace. It's possible. Everyone's all of a sudden going to get together and start working together. She does interviews. She's interviewed some, like I said, Ron Carter, who's been one of my, I like to listen to his music since I'm in my late teens, so it's kind of cool. And so I went to see Rickie Lee Jones. She had some big hits back whenever, and so I went to see her. She's like a jazz singer now. And I always like to look for music. That sounds interesting, so I bought tickets. And the show was really good. Her band was really quite amazing, actually. One of those things, like the first note you heard them play, they were so in sync. It was just like, this is going to be great. So afterwards, I went to the men's room, and I saw this guy sitting over there. I go to myself, wow, that looks like Ron Carter, but it couldn't be. Then I came out of the bathroom, and I was on a date, and the woman said, that's Ron Carter over there. So I beelined over and talked to him. And I was like, I'd never spoken to him in person. And I was so excited to see him, and then it just got me more aware. I knew how old he was, but he's still playing. So I went to see him for my last birthday with my daughter. When he left the stage, he walked right by my daughter and went like this on her shoulder. And I said, get in touch with him, see if he'll be on your show. And she did, and he was on her show. It's like so cool, SGHB TV. She used to do in high school, the video news. And when the pandemic hit, I said to her, you could do that from home. We have the cameras and stuff. And I remember, because she said at least 10 times, wow, that's really a good idea, like surprised that I would have a good idea. But she started interviewing then, and just one thing led to the next. And I don't know if she likes to do it, but she's still looking for something else to do. But it's a great way to network with people, and it's good to speak to people that are powerful or whatever in their career. So she's used to talking to people. If she wants to succeed anywhere, you got to talk to people that are successful and, demand a certain respect and, without being afraid to. So sometimes I go at the comedy club. I went and talked to this guy, Ted Alexandro, who's one of my favorite comedians. And my daughter said, "Are you going to get all nervous when if I let you talk to Ron Carter?" I said, "No, of course not." She goes, and I was kind of nervous talking to Ted Alexandro. It was funny that she said that to me. And she's so, she's a teenager and calm, talking to pretty much anyone. It's great. She'd interviewed this woman named Mika Borum, who I never knew who she was, but she's been in, big-time movies. She was in Dawson's Creek on TV. She's in her 30s now, although she looks like she's 20, but she was in The Patriot. She was one of Mel Gibson's kids. She'd been in these big-time movies, and I didn't realize it, but my daughter interviewed her, and I kept... when my daughter was 16, it was in the middle of the pandemic, and she couldn't have a party. So I made this video of all these people from her life since she was born saying happy birthday to her. So I contacted Mika. If I realized who she was, I might have chickened out because, saying, could you be on my daughter's video? And she's really close with her dad. So somewhere in there said, oh, you're such a good dad, of course. And she produces music videos now. And from one of the sets, she did this thing. She came out of a cave saying, "Hi, Sophia, I've been in my cave for 50 years. I haven't come out, but I am coming out to say happy birthday to you." And such a nice person, but, with sometimes the fame scares people. It's a good thing when you channel it properly, especially being a man. We're kind of told, without even being told, don't be so sensitive about things. I've had to learn how to, I used to use this affirmation a lot: I'm standing in the strength of my sensitivity. So I would know, because sometimes being sensitive is feeling hurt too. So, but how do you direct it in a good way? Yeah, no, I'm writing my book. I'm finally getting to it. I have a lot of writing, but I'm just writing about the part when I started to discover there was a whole new level of learning when I started using my hands in the polarity therapy, like a real grounding. And so if you feel an inclination towards that, find something you're interested in studying, so it gives you like a structure, to work through and how to develop those skills. For me, I used to teach polarity classes just for that, because there are steps. You put your fingers here, you put your fingers here, and you wait for things to balance by feeling them, so it's something concrete, like a way to bring that energy through. It was so helpful for me. Don't worry about doing it perfectly. That's really important. So on my YouTube channel, there's the basic soul meditation. So there is part of it of focusing and trying to quiet your mind, but there's the next step of bringing in the spiritual energy. And so I've been meditating most days for more than 40 years, and some days it's just hard to sit there. And I do. But it's sometimes my mind's going da, 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 and all of a sudden this energy comes in. It's like, oh, what did I even do to deserve this? But there's a chanting in there that helps activate the energy inside. So you focus on your breathing some, you spend time listening and doing the internal chanting. It's a little more active way than just quieting your mind. So it's a part of connecting into the spirit. And if you just take time regularly, even if you don't quiet your mind, because I don't know too many people who can fully quiet their mind, but it is kind of like you push that off to the side and focus on this other thing over here, and it is this purely good, wonderful thing.